There are lots of ways to build the world, and one of them is working with children. The role of being a teacher, and especially an early child educator, is really phenomenally important. Just teaching as a profession sometimes doesn't get all the praise that I think that it deserves. I mean, we're working with people who are going to become, the next generation, the people who are leading the world, and I think that has a lot of value to it, and it's really an important consideration to think about.
The look on a child's face when they get something for the first time, that's like, there's no comparison for it. Maybe if you've ever been in a teaching position with a sibling or a friend, that connection gets made, and every other connection they're going to have after that is because of what you did, like that first step. And so you're there, you're modeling the right behavior, you're showing them how to count, or even getting their own name. When a child recognizes their name for the first time, their own letter, or the letters in their name, or writes it for the first time, I mean, they're going to be doing that for the rest of their life.
If your name starts with an O, who starts with an O? Is your name with an O?
Mine
is. Mr. Dominic. What does your name start with?
O.
Really? Thank you for waiting so patiently, Elijah. And Mr. Dominic, did you already put yours down? What letter do you start with?
A D.
D. All right, go ahead and pick which book you want to read.
I saw a lot of kids grew up without parents and how hard it was on them. So now I get to come to school every day and be that example. Give them that male example that they need, that they can do good, that they don't have to be getting into trouble, doing all this other stuff, that they can come to school and actually do something productive. It's a good feeling, especially when the parents come up to you and be like, "Thank you so much for the work that you do."
Times when I've worked with families where the father wasn't present in the family, and so for a lot of children, they needed to have an interaction with a male, a positive interaction with a male, to try to understand, this other, outside of mom and outside of other women in their family. So a lot of times I fulfilled that role for many families where I could, as a teacher and having a significant amount of time with their children, I could offer that a male caregiving energy with their children, and it was really valuable for those families. They really appreciated that. So it speaks to the importance of having male teachers.
Having male role models is important for all children, boys and girls, to really experience. They have someone to look up to, and they get to think outside the box as far as maybe what they experience at home or in a regular education setting or in other education settings where it's predominantly female.
When I first started working here, there was a new student who was missing mom and dad a lot, and there was a lot of tears and in the beginning, which can be really typical. I formed a connection with this child, and in a few days the tears finally stopped, and that was a really, really wonderful experience. And then the day after that, there was smiling going on and a little bit of laughing, and in a short time they were running around, playing, making friends, and really just enjoying being at school. And it was wonderful to be a part of that, and the parents were extremely appreciative. And it was a really intense moment to be a part of that, because it's really difficult for children to go through that. And it was really special to be a part of helping them through it.
Coming to work every day and the kids just running up to me like, "Teacher Gil, I love you, I love you." That always makes my day. No matter what you're going through, you just get here and you're like, okay, ready to go, good to go.
Your presence in the lives of the children that you're working with is immense. And if you are there and you're with them and you are experiencing joy with them in their presence, they pick up on that. They also take on that presence of joy. And so I think it's really important to have that, to have a joyful work and to enjoy what you're doing, because that's the nature of childhood, to enjoy childhood and explore the world. And so by being there with them in that energy, you can share in that journey with them, which is really important.
Who's your family? Who's family?
The more that we can work together with parents, the more effective we can be. We try and check in with parents every time they drop their kids off or pick them up, And yeah, the more closely we can work together, the more easily we can navigate through challenging situations and promote whatever's in the best interest of the child. So it's a very important part, and we end up being very much a community.
It's really important to me to have really good communication rapport with the families. So I try to, as much as possible, I get them an email 3 or 4 times a day and check. And so I'm always trying to send emails out to the family, connect with them, making sure they're feeling comfortable, answering their questions, and keeping everything coordinated in the classroom.
Yeah, I get to talk to them every day, and they go home with something new that their kid, or something new that they knew, like, my kid did this, really? My kid actually likes to do that? It's like, well, he doesn't do that at home. So it's a good feeling when they know that their kid's doing stuff that they don't regularly do. The parent and the teachers working together gives the student the best he can achieve. Both parents, like, for example, a parent wants the kid to do something or wants them to learn something, and the parent can't get him to do it, so they ask the teacher, because the teacher is with them all day. So the teacher starts bringing it up little by little, and then all of a sudden the kid's doing it, and the parents are like, yes, thank you.
Visit schools, see what it's like, see if there's volunteer opportunities where you can actually engage with children, whether it's in a school or in maybe more like a community event, like maybe like a day camp or something like that, is to go in and get your feet wet and give it a try, to feel that joy and see what it's like to be around other children. And I think it's also a valuable lesson to find out if you want to be with other children. Because it's one thing to say, I love children, I love being with children, and being with children every day. So it's good to get in there and know really if that's something you're interested in, but I definitely recommend, jump in, try something. Go interact with children outside of your family, not just your cousins and your nephews. Get out there and work with some children and see what it's like. And work in different settings, because working with children comes in many different varieties, whether it's early childhood education, elementary education, or working in recreation outside of schools, and to find the niche that works best for you.
CR is great because the adult classroom is actually in our facility. Master teachers, teachers, and associate teachers are all here on site with a First 5 representative, having all these tools that are right at our hands. I mean, literally, you walk into the next room and you can see children learning. We have observation booths that let you look into the classroom without disturbing the classroom. It has with an audio system, so you can hear what's going on at the other side of the classroom. And you get to see the different teaching styles. We have 4 separate rooms and 1 we've rented out, and every teacher is different. It's like walking in not just different classrooms, but different whole philosophies.
Make sure you try to take the classes. They will better prepare you for what's going on, like how to handle certain situations. One of the things that I learned through the classes was get down on the child's level. Sometimes you don't really have to talk to them. All they want is someone's attention there with them, and that's more than enough to help them change whatever they're doing.
There's sometimes the perception that working with young children is a lot of, or mostly, intuition and emotion, and there's a lot of that, but there's a huge body of knowledge on the subject of early childhood education and early childhood development, and it is very, very important to take that part seriously and to try and bring that into the job. So every time I go into class, the next day that I come into work, I'm able to apply the principles that I learn in school, and that's a very powerful experience, because my work very much enhances my school experience, and my school certainly enhances my professional experience here at work. So the combination of that is a really special thing, and CR's been a huge part of that.